Hey, it's Sri here. In today's video, I'm going to talk you through how to balance the masculine and feminine energies in your marriage. Before we dive in, I just want to let you know that I'm opening up a few spots for my Authentic Relationship System training program, which helps women to be able to save their marriage, but also help them to be able to awaken their goddess within and really help them to become the very best versions of themselves. So make sure you stick around to the very end and I'll give you all the details about how you can go about applying for the program. And make sure you hit the subscribe button below so that every Sundays and Tuesdays you'll receive access to all of my latest videos teaching you specifically about how to improve the quality of your marriage or relationship, how to get to know your husband better than he knows himself, and how to become the very best version of yourself. For those of you who have met me before, my name's Sri Rajasekar and I help women from all over the world to be able to improve the quality of their relationship or marriage, but at the same time to be able to reclaim their self-worth and their self-confidence and learn specifically about male psychology, because I believe that these fundamentals are what allows marriages and relationships to really go to that next level. For there to be any spark in a relationship or marriage, there needs to be polarity. In order to create polarity, you need to have a balance of masculine and feminine energies. And think of it like this. Think of it as electricity. You need a positive and negative charge. If you don't have a positive and negative charge, you don't get electricity. And if you don't have the balance of masculine and feminine energies, in other words, one party is predominantly masculine and another party is predominantly feminine, you're not going to create the spark. Now, just to be clear, this is gender independent. It's not all females that are feminine only and all males are masculine. It can be, some females are more masculine and some males are feminine. So it's gender independent. But what's most important here is that we've got polarity within a relationship or marriage. Now, the first thing to get clear on here is that because every individual has both masculine and feminine energies inside of themselves, what we need to get clear on is which one is more dominant. Are you more feminine or are you more masculine? And it's not a right or wrong question. It's just about understanding which one is most dominant inside of you. Now, the problems arise when, if we are, let's say you are more feminine, once we become more masculine, then that's where problems arise in a marriage. Now, let's just assume that you are a feminine woman and your husband is a more masculine man. It is really important for you to step into your own feminine radiance. Very, very important, because if you don't, then what happens is you create what we call depolarization in the marriage. And the pattern that usually exists in a lot of marriages that I see is that a feminine woman will typically become more masculine and you create that depolarization. Now, this is not about whether masculine is right or feminine is right or anything like that. They're both beautiful energies in their own right. But it's about making sure that you're operating from your own authentic self. So on the assumption that your core energy is feminine, here are 3 ways that you want to go about really embodying your feminine spirit. Firstly, you want to be motivated by love. The feminine energy is all about love. It is motivated by love. It feels full when it is loved. When a baby is born, a mother develops a hormone called oxytocin. That oxytocin is like a love drug. It makes them feel complete, unconditional love for that baby. And the baby needs it for its survival as well. That is what the feminine energy does. It is a beautiful, beautiful energy. Coming from a place of love is what we're here on this planet for. It is a beautiful thing when the feminine energy comes from love. So it's important to step into your own loving energy as much as you can. I know there are times that you might want to try and control things or, seek certainty and so forth. But whenever you find yourself in those places, ask yourself, what can I do to come from a place of love at this moment in time? And doing that will allow you to connect in with your feminine spirit so much more. It's a beautiful thing. And it'll allow you to feel so much freer, so much lighter in yourself. So step into the energy of love as much as you possibly can. Secondly, you want to make sure that you're connecting in with your physical body as well. Now, what I mean by that is that you want to learn to feel your emotions. You want to learn to feel the energy inside. You see, so many times when we're under stress and we're in fear, We resort to the head and we think and we think and we think. And we kind of end up in this place of paralysis by analysis. And what you want to be doing is stepping away from your mind too much and connecting in more with your physical body. How does it feel when you are under stress? Get more connected with the physical sensations in your body rather than just thinking about things over time, because as we think more, we actually suppress more of our emotions, and that's going to create more problems for you as well. So you want to be allowing yourself to connect in with your physical body. It will be a beautiful experience and allow more of you to connect in with your own radiance as well. And the third step is that you want to step into the flow of life. If we think about an embryo going into a baby or an acorn turning into an oak tree, that doesn't happen through rigid structure and following a project plan and getting certain steps done in a very methodical way. We step back, we surrender, and we allow life to unfold. Just through a woman being her beautiful self and allowing her body to take over and go through those processes over 9 months, or allowing an acorn to turn into an oak tree, allow it to unfold perfectly through nature's intelligence. That is feminine action. That is feminine energy at its very best. If feminine energy doesn't do anything, that's the beauty of it. It has an attractive quality to it. It attracts things to us. It pulls things to us. Even in my own life, and whenever I've wanted to achieve things, if I've tried to, be really structured and rigid and try and control things, I've noticed that things didn't work out as well. Whereas if I was able to just step back and trust and live in faith, and when I needed to take the action that I needed to, everything started to unfold beautifully. And that's the same thing with you. You want to step more into the flow of life. Rather than trying to control everything, allow things to flow. If you're not sure about what steps you need to take in terms of your relationship at this moment in time, that's okay. Take a step back, go and meditate, or go and do those actions that bring you joy, and then allow the answers to come to you. You will find in time that the answers will come spontaneously to you, rather than feeling like you need to make a forced decision. And you will feel so much lighter and so much more radiant and so much more joyful in your own self as well. So stepping into the flow of life is absolutely crucial to help you to balance your own femininity within your marriage as well. Just quickly in the comment section below, I just want you to answer the question, what's the single biggest challenge that you're currently facing when it comes to communicating with your husband? Just quickly write below. Now within any marriage, it's also important to make sure that the masculine energy is balanced as well. In other words, if your partner, on the assumption, is the more masculine partner, you want to make sure that that is cultivated within him. Because if he doesn't feel like he can actually step up and be a man and step into his masculine energy, you're going to find that he depolarizes himself and he starts to step more into his feminine and doesn't actually empower himself to be the best man that he possibly can be. And the first way to cultivate your partner's masculine energy is to allow them to step up for you. Now, what do I mean by that is, if you're going to the supermarket together and, you've got quite a few bags, let him carry some of them. He'll want to. A lot of the time, he'll actually want to carry them for you, so let him do that. If there's things that he wants to do for you, let him do it. Doesn't mean that you're not capable of it at all, but just means that you're allowing him to step up and deliver for you because it makes him feel significant. It's very, very important to do that. This is not about whether, men are capable of certain things and women aren't, or vice versa, or anything like that. This is about acknowledging and honoring the masculine energy in your partner and making sure that he actually can step up for you and deliver. And that will allow you to relax into your feminine more as well, which will be a huge gift for you. It'll allow you to step back, to allow things to come to you, and to allow him to serve you at the level that you need. Very, very important to give a man that permission to be able to do that and to be able to cultivate that within himself. Now, the second way to cultivate the masculine is to ensure that you appreciate him. Now, I know it sounds pretty basic and pretty straightforward, but I can't tell you how much I see couples that don't do this. You know, for a man, he needs to be praised. He needs to feel like what he's doing is actually making a difference, that he's actually serving his partner, is actually able to make her feel happy and joyful, because a man wants to see his woman happy more than anything. He wants to see that. And if he's not seeing that, then he feels useless. He doesn't feel like he can actually deliver on any level, and he starts to feel emasculated. So he needs to have that praise, and it can just be the smallest things. You know, if he goes out and takes the trash, look, thank you so much, honey, for doing that. I really appreciate it. You know, the more you do that, the more that you're actually able to praise him as well, then the more he starts to feel like, wow, I'm actually really appreciated around here, and she really values the things that I do around here. And so he anchors that in, and he's going to want to do more of it as well. So make sure you take the time to praise him. And it doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. It doesn't mean you have to do it 24/7. But it's really important to just get into a regular practice of it. Because the more you do it, the more he'll feel it. And the most important thing though is that when you do it, that it's genuine. That you're not doing it just to force it, that you genuinely appreciate it. Because if it's just a formality, he'll feel it, he won't believe it on some level, and that's where the downward spiral starts to begin. Okay, so make sure that you get into that habit as often as you possibly can, and make sure it's genuine. But the third way to cultivate the masculine energy and to balance the masculine and feminine energies in your marriage or relationship is to recognize it's okay for the masculine to go into his cave. Now, what do I mean by that? Often, let's just say a man comes home from work, he's tired, he's been solving problems all day, he wants to just go and chill out for a bit. Not only is he completely depleted in terms of his testosterone levels, which by the way is a stress-reducing hormone for a man, but he just needs some time to get back to his center of gravity. He's exhausted as well. Now, what can often happen is the partner can feel like he's not spending enough time with me, he doesn't really care about me, doesn't connect with me, etc., etc. And I totally appreciate that that would be a really difficult thing as well. But I think if we can just take a step back for a second and recognize that occasionally he's going to be in that place. He's going to want to just go into his cave and play video games and so forth, or watch TV, etc., watch some sports, but he'll come out of it. And if you can recognize that and know that he's going to come out of it and not specifically take it personally at that moment in time, and then once he comes out of it, then you can connect and you can actually talk about some of your day and your challenges or whatever, then that's going to be so much more effective than allowing those behaviors to be the source of more negativity and more anger, because that's just going to create more depolarization within the marriage or relationship as well. So recognize it's okay for him to sometimes go into his cave. Obviously, if it's happening over and over and over and over every single day, then you need to, have some conversations about that. But if it's not, and it's happening sporadically, really important to just recognize that he's going to come out of his cave, and that I can assure you. Now, I recognize sometimes that understanding masculine and feminine energies can be really complicated and really difficult, and when we're struggling in our marriage, it's like, what on earth and how on earth do I go about doing this? And I get it. And so for that reason, that's why I've created the Authentic Relationship System training, which teaches you specifically about masculine and feminine energies and all other topics about how to get to know more about your husband and how to also improve the quality of your relationship or marriage so you really take it to that next level. It's an amazing program comprising of both group-based coaching, one-on-one coaching, and also an online training program which you can go through methodically to be able to create the shifts in your marriage. It's amazing. You'll absolutely love it. Now, the program is not for everyone, so I want to make sure that it's a beautiful fit for both of us. So all you need to do to see if you're a good fit is just click on the link below where it says book a time with me. You can speak to me directly, and I'll get to understand where you are now, where you want to get to, and how we can bridge that gap in the shortest possible time. If it's not a good fit, that's totally okay. But if it is, we can go through all the details, get you on board, and you'll absolutely love it, and you'll create some massive shifts in both your relationship and within yourself as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit the like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you want to learn the 4 signs your husband might be wanting a divorce, click on this link above. And if you want to discover how to save your marriage alone, just click on this video above. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.